Orgasmic enlightenment, where the sexual and spiritual come together. I'm Kim Anami, and I'm a holistic sex and relationship coach and a vaginal weightlifter. In this show, we explore all things intimate. I believe that our sexual energy is life force, creative energy, and we can use it to shape our worlds, strengthen our relationships, and self-actualize. I blend the most avant-garde information from neuroscience, ancient sexual practices like Tantra and Taoism, to renegade wellness modalities to show you how to create gourmet sex in your lives. Come one, come all. My Yoni manifested a man. I often use the phrase #powered-by-vagina to describe how I have created my life and manifested my desired reality from my vagina by using my sexual energy as the procreative power source that it is. This is the true purpose of your sexual energy. Yes, it's there to give you pleasure. Its deepest power is as a tangible substance you can use to shape your world. When people are cut off from their sexual energy, they often have lives they don't like. They're stuck in repeating patterns, unhappy with the shape of everything from their work and careers to their bodies. They feel stuck. They feel powerless to change anything and may even have a sense of hopelessness that things will be like this forever. They can't see a way out. This is all symptomatic of being underfucked. Being underfucked isn't just not having sex, it's not having any clue how to tap into and harness your creative sexual energy. When people are chronically underfucked, they will manifest all sorts of indications of this in their lives. Depression, anger, irritability, career and financial stagnation, relationship strife, weight issues from all of the baggage you are carrying, and reproductive ailments, which I say are all, and I mean all, symptomatic of stuck sexual energy. This includes difficult periods, PMS, menopause, growths, cysts, PCOS, endometriosis, low libido, lack of lubrication, not having orgasms, or only having clitoral orgasms, and erectile issues in men. And the list goes on. This is what happens when your sexual energy inverts on you. Since it's not being properly inhabited and channeled, it collapses inward and causes all kinds of obstructive chaos. This is the definition of hysteria that originated 2,000 years ago. It literally means to be underfucked. Well, literally, it means to have an uneasy womb that is suffering from being underfucked. So the opposite of all of these things take place when you get well fucked, when you clear the blocks that get in the way of you fully owning and enjoying your sexual energy, and then learn to consciously direct it through the kinds of practices I teach in my salons. You become a manifesting machine. You unblock the flow of the universe that wants to express itself through you. You take control of your life. You begin to shape it to reflect your deepest and most authentic truth and desires. The process even helps you to get clear on what those things are if you feel like you don't know. Because through being connected to your sexual energy, you self-realize. You become the person you are truly meant to be. And then you begin to live a life of manifesting magic. This is when newly well-fucked people begin using phrases like, "it just came to me," "it fell into my lap." Notice that even these are sexual innuendos, which is very apropos, because the source and the truth is your activated vagina, a lap that magnetizes everything to it. Today, we are talking to well-fucked all-star Rosie. She is a manifesting maven. She and her vagina created a year-long sabbatical, an adorable French apartment, and a scathing hot dream man, all from her turned-on vagina. And she is also an excellent answer to the question, can you be well-fucked and single? can you inhabit this energy even as a single person? And she's also a great example of why you need to, because by doing so, you then up-level yourself where you can create the life that you want and then attract a higher level partner when you're operating from this well-fucked, radiant place. Well-fucked All-Stars! Rosie, it's so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you, Kim. It's absolutely amazing to be here. Thank you.
And you are actually traveling on a 1-year sabbatical that you have manifested. And in the middle of that, you're in Japan right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just past 7 in the morning in Japan right now. And me and my gorgeous lover that I also manifested is traveling with me and invited me to come on to travel the world with him. So yeah, life is pretty amazing right now.
I love it. So let's dive into that. Let's dive into this idea that you are able to create and manifest your reality. And how has that unfolded for you? And how would you connect that to inhabiting your sexual energy?
Um, Gosh, huge question. Maybe best for me to start with where I was before so that I can show how it kind of helps me inhabit my sexuality and therefore from there manifest everything that's happening in my life right now. So before I came to vaginal boot and through my life, orgasm was really hard for me. I was your typical vibrator clit addict. Um, and before it like turned 30, I'd never had an orgasm, even with a vibrator or anything. So a lot of body dissociation. I had really severe anorexia in my early 20s, and I had coil put in my mid 20s because the doctor said it would be good for like balancing my hormones. Yeah, a lot of dissociation from my body, not inhabiting my sexual energy at all. Um, and then following horrible breakup, a like big grief. I lost someone very close to me. I started this big journey to be the source of my own sexual pleasure, and that's when I found you. So it's almost like I was ready. I found you, and through Well Fucked Woman, vaginal book, everything in me changed. My ability to bring pleasure to my life changed. My source of pleasure came from in me rather than the man I'm with giving me pleasure. And it's from that space, that deep self responsibility, which I think is my favorite thing to teach, that we are in charge of our lives. We are responsible for everything happening in our lives. Goodbye victim mindset, goodbye stuff is happening to me, and hello, I'm the person who is responsible for everything, including bringing the right man into my life, including living the life I want to live. So yeah, it all came from lessons within Well Fucked Women, vaginal boot that took me to this ability to create everything that I'm doing now.
I love that. And so along the way, was that a hard thing for you to swallow? Like, rejecting the whole, excuse me, like victim mindset. Were you able to take that on like, okay, actually, this is empowering to think that I hold the keys to doing this? And so how did that evolve?
I think it's like, oh, I swallowed the Kool-Aid, like like you say. Um, I The world tells us things happen to us, so you keep hearing it everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And I think actually it's always felt right that it's my responsibility. So like I don't know if you know much about eating disorders, but with my anorexia, like it was up to me to heal that. It wasn't like the therapy, it wasn't a doctor, it wasn't anyone else. I had to choose. I had to choose the hard thing to change my mind. So I think it was like in my core anyway that I knew that what's happening in my life is because of me and I get to choose. So, like all your podcasts, all your lessons, all the practices, they were all just like, yes, this is right. Yes, I know this. It's like deep inside we know it already, and we've just been told so many lies. So it wasn't a hard pill to swallow. It was just like really like settling into the truth much more. And yeah, and super empowering. And I noticed everywhere like how much victimhood is just prevalent amongst female friends, amongst everyone. And it's like, no, it's that's your job. Come on, you got this. Like this is like this makes us strong. It doesn't like it. Saying we're not a victim doesn't make us go. Doesn't deny that something bad has happened. Um, it just means we can find our way out of anything bad that happens.
That unfolded for you quite easily. And then how did your sexual energy act as the amplifier? Because I always say like that's the juice, that's the missing piece, that's the secret sauce that when people recognize that and they learn how to consciously direct it, that's when the abundance cup spilleth over.
um, I think it was because for me, it was doing all the practices. So I made them a real priority in my day, in my week. So what happened was I moved to France, moved to live in France in this tiny little alpine apartment on my own. It's like the bedroom is literally the walls touch the side of the bed. Like really cute and little place, but it's all to myself. And I wasn't going out to see friends. I wasn't like going to the pub after work. I was like putting a blanket on the kitchen floor and masturbating. um, because I was like, no, I'm gonna work through my stuff. And like it was doing that all that work and it was work at first because it was numb and it was tears and it was painful and it was boring and um but it was when it started to shift because I trusted that it would shift that I started glowing. I had girlfriends saying you look different, you seem different, and I felt sexy and I felt the energy flowing after any session. Um, it was, you can feel it. You can feel sparkly. So for example, breast massage for one, that was like a really, really big one for me. My breasts have always been a huge source of shame for me. Like I have two older brothers, a real tomboy household growing up. Hated them when they first started developing. My brothers would laugh at me and joke about them, these little nipple buds, and so when I got larger breasts, age like 16, I got like breast reducing bras. I like crushed them and hid them. And I wouldn't go anywhere without a bra that was like a bit padded to hide the nipples and hide them as much as possible. I had loads of shame around my breasts. And like that has just continued like through my relationships. And so when I first started doing the breast massage, I found it awful. Like I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Like the 20-minute long breast massage, I was like, oh my God, I'm so bored. This is horrible. And I'm someone who's really into yoga and meditation. So like sitting and just being with sensations, like something I love doing. But the breast massage, oh my God, absolutely hated it. Um, and then after kind of a couple of weeks of doing it, oh my God, my breasts were larger and puffier, and they were calling me to massage them. They feel sparkly and incredible, and I was standing taller and prouder in my body. And that shift is one of the biggest ones because going from hating a part of my body to truly loving and not just loving, fancying, being turned on by that part of my body, it was changed my energy in the world. So I'm like penetrating the world with my breath now. um, and with my partner now, I mean, even last night he gives me a breast massage before we go to sleep, and it's just like this really sparkly, intimate, beautiful thing. And he loves doing it, and he loves my breasts, and I love my breasts. And um, the change is like this just sparkly energy when you're constantly nourishing your sexual energy and nourishing these parts of yourself, that the like everything in your world starts to be a bit more sparkly.
That's so
I don't know if I've
beautiful.
answered your question or if I've gone
Oh,
completely off piece.
you
Sorry.
totally have. So, speaking of your boyfriend, how did you manifest him?
So, um, After Well Fucked Woman, I still hadn't had a vaginal orgasm. But I was feeling super in my sexual energy. Like, and I was really excited for VKS because I think I knew that starting to do more jade egg and really understanding like powering up my pussy was going to have a big difference. And I was kind of, I was like, I'm not really going to date that much anymore. 2024 is all about me, like embodying my sexuality, manifesting the life I want. I've just, straight after Well Fucked Woman, I just manifested my dream apartment. So I went from this tiny little apartment with like a tiny bed to this huge, like I really wanted a huge sofa with a mountain view and a balcony and like separate gorgeous double bedroom, and got it.
Wonderful.
Which like literally the mountain view that I wanted and had been like visioning after my sexual practices. Um, so that was dreamy. So I was like, I'm living my dream life. I'm in my dream place. I've got my dream apartment. I'm not really going to be looking for a man. I'm in a really good place. So that was the energy I was going into 2024 with. And I think that's vital to say. Like, I had stopped that need for a man. Like, I was really in my sexual energy. I felt like I'm my best lover. I'm the source of my pleasure. And my life is beautiful because I'm creating it with my pussy, obviously. And a couple of weeks later, I go on a date, and I see his eyes, and it's just like immediate. He is amazing. I mean, he's beautiful. It's like tall French man, blue eyes, blonde hair, snowboarder, like super sexy. And he's walking towards me in the snow in the dark. And I can still see that, like that first date, him walking towards me in the snow. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gorgeous. Um, and even before the date, the energy and the tune of our messages was just beautiful. It was just immediately easeful. And my intuition was, this is soft, this is relaxing, I feel safe. And on the day we go to this restaurant, we're eating, and I can feel my pussy getting wet just while he's talking to me. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, Kim says to trust this, I'm gonna trust this. um, yeah, we had 3 dates in the space of a week, and then fun twist, I was moving to South Africa for 2 months. So we had these 3 gorgeous dates, chatting, connecting, epic kisses, amazing sex. Like, and I'm not normally to jump into bed quickly with someone, but it was just safe and easeful, and it felt right. And I'm really not someone to jump into bed quickly with someone. So this was, I've never been a one night standing kind of girl. So yeah, this was really amazing. But I was like, I'm going to South Africa, and also I'm like, I feel really good. I go to South Africa, and we stay in touch, and he sends like a picture one day of this set of like couples cards questions, so that we can have open communication chats over WhatsApp voice notes every day. So we're asking really deep questions. This is within like a few weeks of meeting. We're asking super deep, emotional, sexual, physical questions, and having these incredibly deep conversations over WhatsApp voice note for the first month, which was amazing. And I think the only reason I went on a date with him actually before I went to South Africa, is because on his profile it said, I'm into open communication. And like all of your kind of stuff about clearing the glass, I was like, no, this is my top number one need, is they got to be open to chat, like full honesty, full self-responsibility, radical honesty. And he was very much so on those first 3 dates, like sharing everything. And then these cards were another way for us to both just really open up about absolutely everything. And then he asked to come visit me in South Africa. Again, something I would normally be like, no, oh my God, you're invading my space. We've only known each other a month. But I said yes. And we had this incredibly romantic, amazing, magical week together. And then, yeah, then I came back, and the rest is history. We just kept having incredible sex. I had my first vaginal orgasm with him, in that week in South Africa. And it just was, easeful. It just came. I didn't have to try. I didn't have to be anything. I just relaxed and surrendered, and it just came. And then it kept coming and coming and coming, and it has kept coming and coming and coming with him. Um, and I know it's not because of him. Yes, we have this incredible energetic connection. I have this beautiful, amazing man. But it's also because of all the work I did on myself, the ways I opened, the ways I've surrendered, the way I kept opening my heart to him and surrendering to him. Um, so yeah, he's literally my dream man, but he's like teenage girl me dream man as well, because he's like skater boy, surfer boy, snowboarder, tall, blonde, French. Um, and but alongside all that, open communication all the way, loves sex, loves my body, holds me in every single emotion I have. And that's the amazing thing. Like we're going through the layers, because it's been a year now. We're going through the layers of now that I'm safe, all of the parts of me that have never been held before, the angry parts, the emotional parts, the wild parts, the triggered parts are cooling, and they feel safe enough to be loved and held by him. And it's amazing, and it's challenging, but it's amazing. Yeah, I know that if I hadn't done the work on myself, if I hadn't found my pleasure from within, if I hadn't been nourishing my sexual energy, there's no way I would have been the right woman for a man like this. Because he deserves a really sexually wild, energetic woman. He really does.
That's beautiful. I love that acknowledgement because, a lot of the time people can get stuck, and this isn't you from what you've said, because you're really committed to the personal responsibility, but people can get blamey and, oh, there's no good men out there. But the thing is, you have to elevate yourself up to a place high enough to attract that higher quality man. And if people keep attracting a pattern, an energy that drags them down, then they're the ones who are needing to look at what's the magnet that's doing that.
Exactly. And I firmly believe that. Like, if there's anything that's been like so incredible about a lot of doing your work and learning from you, it's that and men are amazing. Every man that has come into my life, even just friendships, they're incredible. If you're in the right energy, if you're in your feminine, if you're receptive to all they have to offer and share and give, they're like, oh my God, they blow my mind. Like, there's amazing men everywhere. And it's almost like women are blocking them somehow. Like, if you aren't being open, if you aren't nourishing their energy, you're blocking their brilliance. Like, and I firmly believe that. So the more I open, the more I know that he will blossom. So it's like I have to keep doing this work on myself and keep being the best version of me, so that I can inspire and like support his growth and brilliance. And it's a beautiful symbiotic relationship. But yeah, I firmly believe we have to be the lover we want to be. We have to be the partner we want to be. It's up to me to have an amazing relationship with someone by being an amazing partner. For sure.
Agreed. And you radiate that very clearly.
Thank you.
So tell me more about other elements of your life, because it looks like you really mastered this essence of being able to manifest through your creative and your sexual energy. You did this incredibly with this man. How else did that show up in your life? It showed up in these like geographical opportunities. How about in your work or creativity?
Yeah, so work-wise, I got an amazing pay rise very randomly, quickly after Well-Fucked Woman. That was very unexpected. And also being allowed to go on this year off, and my job is safe when I go back. Like, I'm literally on a year's sabbatical. It's unheard of in the UK to have a year's sabbatical and still have your job when you go home. So it's very common in France, and that's why Yo-Yo invited me, because they have a kind of program where if you're working for a big company, you can take a year's sabbatical, I think, every 7 years, and people do it all the time. And so, but I work for a British company, so like for me, it was really mad that I could. So, and then to be able to like financially afford my year off is mad that I could as well. These are all things that seem to have just come naturally into my life since doing Well Fucked Women and BKF. And before them, I would have been like, take a year off and be able to afford it? No way. That's not in a million years. So yeah, definitely money starts flowing. Life is more easeful when you're really embodying your sexual energy and living in that place of surrender and trust. I think that is really, really key. Like the more tight, anxious, worried, because there's moments where I'm like, oh, the money's down a bit. It's like it always refills. It's like it's a flow. Like money is this beautiful, energetic flow. And if you're working hard and being your best self, it keeps coming. And it's the tightening and the restriction and constriction of your energy around it, I think, blocks it. And for me personally, though, the biggest and most beautiful thing that I manifested was my own healing. Like being, because I didn't get the vaginal orgasm straight away, and I didn't, like all the other women in the group are talking about their cervical orgasms and their squirting, and I'm feeling really like inferior and like I haven't achieved it, and I'm that one woman who can't. And I was convinced, oh my god, so convinced I was that one woman who can't.
It's so funny, even
That
though
was really
I
hard
hammer.
after Well Fucked Woman.
Oh, it's just even though I hammer that home with everybody, we still hear that all the time. Like people will be like, they just feel like they're that one woman that it doesn't apply to, and then they usually overcome that. But everyone can. It's the Nomi guarantee, and we'll show people ad infinitum examples. They'll still have that doubt that, but maybe not for me.
Yeah, and I think, well, it's that, like I said earlier, it's that I'm the victim Kool-Aid. We as women are shown to keep us small and weak, and it's told to us so much. I mean, I believed in my 20s that I just couldn't, and I'm broken, and that was just it. That was my life, and that's it. And so, yeah, there's that layers of that block take ages to unwind in yourself. And I think like um, the practices in Well Fucked Women, even though I wasn't getting that like heightened pleasure straight away, and it was slower for me, it was much slower than I saw all these other women, and I'm like trying not to compare and like doing my own journey. Actually, I look back and I realized what was happening was this deep layers of healing. I remember lying, like I said, lying on that kitchen floor, and like racked with tears. Like I would be pleasuring for an hour and like barely feeling pleasure and just pouring tears and pain and grief and yeah, frustration at my body, but also grief of like the loss of the loved one, grief of the pleasure I never had growing up, sexual relationships I missed out on, the pleasure that I missed out on giving myself. And that took a lot. I think I had a lot to process. I had 38 years of grief around my body and sadness around my body and dissociation from my body and numbness and self-hatred to heal. I really am picking all of that and sending my sexual energy into healing those parts of my soul. That's the biggest win for me. That's that's better than the amazing life and all the apartments and lovers and lover, sorry. You can imagine, because I'm in this place of deep trust in myself. I remember you saying you need to, for surrender, it's trust the universe, trust your partner can catch you, but trust yourself. Most of all, trust that I can catch myself. And that's what needed healing the most. That's what I needed to manifest the most, that trust in myself, that deep surrender to myself, and that knowing that I'll be okay no matter what, because I'm here. So yeah, that's the thing I'm most grateful for. That's the real win.
It's the whole concept of being comfortable in your own skin, because the worst feeling ever is when you have that need or want to dissociate and not
Mm.
be in your own self, but when you feel good and ecstatic and confident and fully owning it, like the best feeling ever.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not like it's interesting because it's uh, you have to keep doing the work. You can't just be like, okay, I feel good now. Okay, I'm just gonna be lazy. So for example, so we've been traveling for 2 months, which has been amazing and hectic. And having sex all the time. So been like, oh, just, I can't fit my date in today. We're like surfing too much, and then we're having too much sex, and then blah blah blah. So we're doing all this couple stuff, and I'm doing all this active stuff, and then my personal practice has like slipped a little bit in the last month or so because we're it's been so busy, and I've noticed that, like, so I really noticed it in my body and my ability to surrender to pleasure with him because I wasn't nurturing me from the inside out in the same way. And I like it comes back super quick. Like in the last week, I've been doing my Yoni massage and my jade egg like really religiously again, and I'm like back to like boom, boom, boom orgasms when we're fucking again. So it's you can't give up, and there's always somewhere deeper to go, and we haven't got to all the deepest places. But I think it's also just to know that life gets in the way sometimes, and you can get it back. That's been really lovely little lesson for me. Like I was just on this like honeymoon high with him, which is amazing. And now I'm like, okay, back to me at the start of this year. Like I'm gonna focus on me as well again, and it feels really, really good.
So he had made a comment that your vagina was the wettest and most incredible vagina that he'd ever experienced.
Yeah. Um, it's yeah, he is in full worship of my vagina. And this was amazing from the beginning. I said, I'm doing VKF. He's like, what is this? So we're in a few weeks of meeting. I'm like fully open about all my sexual practices with him. I'm like, no, these are big things for me. And I'm doing this vaginal kung fu course. And he's like, oh, okay, supporting me in every way he can. I'm like, I'm going to go and do my jade egg. And I was like, can I watch? Like, he loves it. Yeah, I remember he was like, "You're so wet. You're so like gushing. Oh my God, I love it when you're dripping on my face." Like yeah, is fully in full worship of my vagina. He always wants to lick me. He always wants to fuck me. And he gives me Yoni massages. He's just in full worship of her, and she is yeah, glowing under his affectionate and adoring gaze. Um, as is his penis, which oh my gosh, it's not hard to love because it's amazing. Um, and yeah, he really loves like how appreciative and how much cock love I shower on him. So the lingam massage was like very like whoa for him, and how much I love blowjobs and how much I love like touching him, just even just like through the day, like stroking him as he goes by, and there's so much adoration between us both, each of us bodies, but the whole body. It's not just like a couple that are affectionate hugging. We're really like nourishing our sexual energy all the time. It's just present between us all the time, this appreciation and love of each other, but also that kind of like separate relationship I have with his cock and his like separate relationship he has with my pussy.
That's so incredible to hear. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that you haven't touched on?
Oh, good question. Um, Maybe just the main things I loved from your work. Just to say that the revelation that sex energy is life force energy. It's everything. That is just like, yes, I love that so much. I love that. I know it's true. Yeah, it's the source of everything in your life. And I'm kind of, I just really, really wish that everyone knew that sex was important as eating and breathing. So yeah, that's kind of, that's one of the most useful messages I think from you that I've learned. Surrender obviously is like brought this beautiful life that I'm living now into my life. um, like you have to surrender to manifest, if that makes sense. Like the two are like intrinsically linked. You can't force manifestation. You have to surrender to what the universe brings. Like I wasn't actively asking for a year off. I wasn't actively asking for this perfect man. I was surrendering to the things that were arising, and it was bringing me more than I could have ever dreamed of. But mostly I just want to say thank you, Kim. Like you're amazing, you're inspiring, you're beautiful, you're sexy in every way. And I've learned so much from you. And I'm so glad I didn't cry because I thought I might cry and get really emotional. um, because yeah, it's been life-changing finding your work. Really life-changing and like I mean very outer ways, but for me the like the changes within me, within my energy, within how I feel about my body and myself. That's what I'm most grateful for. Thank you.
Rosie, you're such a beautiful, luscious, radiant, vibrant woman. I mean, it just shines and sparkles. All those words you were using before, all of that comes through you so easily, like from your inner self, your outer self, all of it. So you really do emanate the whole palpable, well-fucked energy because you're wearing and consciously moving and inhabiting that energy.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, every woman needs to be a well-fucked woman.
Agreed. Vaginal Kung Fu is where it all happens. My legendary 10-week online program is where you learn to awaken and activate your vagina so that it functions as your compass and attractor, and massive orgasm and handjob giver. VKF is now open for registration and it closes tonight, January 30th at midnight PST. In the salon, you become a maestro of all things vaginal and sexual. You will learn my step-by-step guided vaginal weightlifting routine, yoni massage to de-numb and activate your vagina, quantum techniques to clear your blocks and illuminate your sexual shadow, breast massage techniques to tone, lift, and enlarge the breasts, natural birth control and detoxing off the pill, how to make menstruation and menopause the energizing and rejuvenating portals they were meant to be. They were meant to be blissful. How to give a vaginal handjob, and how to use your sexual energy to heal yourself, including my sexual position prescription mood guide. Go to kamanami.com, look for Sexual Savant Salons, and then click on Vaginal Kung Fu. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and send somebody else the gift of a multi-orgasmic and transformational love life by sharing this episode with them. If you'd like to go deeper into all things orgasms, sign up for my free Orgasmopedia series where you'll learn about 9 different types of orgasms everyone can have. Go to kamanami.com and you'll see the sign up there. Come one, come all.